Hello everyone, welcome to the reading. This reading will be about that YouTube guy, Murad. He was exposed for doing some disturbing stuff and saying some disturbing stuff. So I'm going to be asking questions everyone's curious about. I have a lot of questions, but before I get into them, let me pick up his current energies at this moment in time. What can we see regarding his energies? What can be shown to us? He feels hopeless. He feels broken down. Not just that, he's trying to understand things. It's kind of just like, he's like, where did I go wrong? That's what I'm seeing. He feels like a wounded animal, a wounded bird. He wants to be rescued. He's in the dark night of the soul type shit. So that's what's being shown to me so far. Let's see what else can be shown to us. Damn, this card went in reverse, and it has to do with his emotions. So let's see what's going on. Damn, going with the flow. What's being shown to me is that 1 minute he's doing fine, then the next minute he's not doing fine. Going with the flow represents just going with like how things are. You know what I mean? Not trying to really do the most. But the fact that it's inverted and this was his emotions, it's shown me he's going through strife. I mean, it is what it is, but that's what I'm seeing. He's definitely going through strife. He feels wounded. He's going through strife. He doesn't have any peace. What I'm picking up is he's having problems eating. He's having problems like chilling. You know what I mean? He can't even just like sit on a couch and watch YouTube videos without being disturbed. He's in a very disturbed place at this moment in time. What else can I see regarding him? What's going on with him? At the same time, though, he's trying to make it less than what it is. He's definitely trying to make this shit ordinary, right? But we know that 8 is not ordinary. 8 represents the infinity sign. It also represents Scorpio. It also represents death. It represents deep situations. So this guy, he's in deep shit, but he's trying to like downplay things. I'm totally seeing him downplaying things. Trees has to do with people as well. So he's trying to downplay things with his friends, his people. And that's what I'm seeing. Let's see what else is going on. So far, he feels broken down and wounded. He has no peace, and he's trying to downplay shit. What else can we see? Last card. But he's in his mind, though. He's overthinking. You know what I mean? Again, that vibe of like, where did I go wrong? Like, where did I fuck up? That's the vibe he's in. So that's what I'm seeing thus far. Let's see. What else can I see regarding this situation? I'm going to take my time with this energy because it's definitely funny. It's interesting though, right? He's still hopeful. He is definitely hopeful about business. This particular card, right? It represents your work. It represents owning a business, having a business, right? This card, it came out upright. He's hopeful. He feels like there's a silver lining in this situation. Not just that, 10 represents business. He feels like there's still hope. You know what I mean? Yeah, he feels broken down, wounded, and hopeless. But he also feels like he's going to be able to recover from this situation. Let's see. What else can we see regarding this situation? It's funny to me. I'm going to keep my opinions to myself. Because I'm like tired at this point. Let's see, what else can we see regarding this situation? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie at all. I'm picking up some witchcraft. Not just that, this card represents organized witchcraft. So, it's funny. I was going to ask, right? I was going to be like, is this some type of ritual? Because whenever anything happens, even if the person isn't necessarily in Hollywood, like even if they're a YouTuber, a lot of people say like, oh, is this a Hollywood ritual? I'm not going to lie. I'm seeing an organized ritual. So it's kind of just like, that's why he's disturbed as well. He doesn't know what's going to happen. This whole situation caught him off guard, and it's deep, right? Because the shit that he was doing is old. The shit didn't happen kind of like a day ago or like a week ago. This shit, I believe it's been like months, years ago. So it's kind of just like, all these videos already been out. You know what I mean? And it's funny because people has been showing proof that like people already knew who he was and what he was like doing. And it's funny that this is just now coming out. So there's definitely some organized situations going on with this, for sure. You know, people have kind of like set him up. You know what I mean? That's why he's afraid. And again, 8 speaks of hidden aspects, hidden things. There's definitely hidden situations going on with this. Very fascinating. Let me look into that situation next, because he's trying to pretend like things are cool to his people. Oh, it has to do with his foundation. It has to do with his foundation. It has to do with his home. This has to do with family. This is inside of a tent. This particular card represents being inside of a tent. It represents your home. It represents your family. It represents your lineage. He's lying to himself. He's lying to his friends. He's lying to people. He's trying to make it less than what it is. You know how he was saying shit like, this was just work, that he was getting paid for it? It's deep. It's definitely deeper than what he's trying to make it seem. Not just that, we know that he's from a different type of culture. You know what I mean? Like he's into that whole Arab type of culture. They're really strict. That's on his mind as well. That's why he's trying to downplay shit. Because he's kind of getting the evil eye from the people that's in sort of just like his lineage. You know what I mean? His heritage, his background. They're kind of just like, yo, what the fuck? And it's interesting because this card flew on this side. So this has to do with this, for the simple fact that the card was supposed to come out for this side, but it flew here. So it's saying that these 2 slots correlate. So let's see what's happening. Ah, damn. This is really deep. His people are thinking that he's some satanic ass nigga. It is what it is. They're kind of just like, yo, dude, you're satanic. You're linked up with some evil shit. A lot of people are questioning him. They're looking at him sideways. They're kind of just like, yo, is this how like you became popular? By doing satanic humiliation rituals and shit? So this is really deep. You have his people looking at him crazy, from his friends, his family. Damn, this is actually getting really deep. And you know what this shows me, right? I gotta be real with you guys. Yeah, people that he knows are having these sort of questions, but this card has exposed that that's what this is about. So it's funny, I had a lot of different questions, right? But a lot of them are being answered. So it's showing me, it's kind of just like he has a pack in blood with some shady shit. This represents an unholy union, this particular card. You know what I mean? Like, if this was a mundane situation, because even though it is mundane, but it's already been shown that this is a spiritual situation as well with this ritual card. So it's kind of just like this card represents someone that's a sellout, right? So let's just say if a guy or a female is working at a place and they want to move up in sort of just like the situation that they're in, this would be that card. It represents an unholy union, kind of like when you're selling out. This guy has definitely sold out. He feels like that's what's going to save him. That's why he's confident. Because what was I telling you? That he's confident about work as well. He feels like there's hope. So he's kind of just like, yo, I'm attached to some shady shit. I've did some rituals and shit, so I should be fine. But at the same time, he is afraid because he don't know what to expect, because these people kind of like exposed him. You know what I mean? This isn't something that sort of like he was expecting. This wasn't something kind of just like, okay, guy, we're going to expose you and this is what it is and it's going to be a ritual, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't that. It's kind of just like the higher ups and the shit he's affiliated with decided to kind of just like expose his ass. Let's see what's going on with his mind situation. Very deep ass energies for sure. This is really interesting. This guy, he's not an average guy by no means. You know what I mean? He's not just some gay guy into crazy fetishes. This guy, he is a warlock. He's definitely some type of warlock. I usually don't say warlock, but it's kind of just like awkward calling a guy a witch. But it's kind of just like he is involved in some spiritual shit. This guy, he has some spiritual affiliations that's hidden that people don't know about. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm seeing. So it's like, yeah, he's in his mind, but he feels like he's going to be able to control shit. Again, this is an energy, a vibe of being able to control things. You know, so yeah, things are out of hand, but he feels like he's going to be able to pull things together. You know, like life isn't black and white, life is colorful. So even though you might feel confident 1 minute, you can be scared. So that's what's being shown here. It's kind of just like he's afraid, he's terrified, but then after that, like later on, he kind of becomes like confident. But then at the same time, he's second guessing himself. Not just that, he's trying to put together the pieces of like, what the fuck is going on? Why was he exposed? Like, what's happening? So that's what I'm seeing. So it's interesting, right? My next question is he truly suicidal? Because this guy, he was very manipulative. You know what I mean? He started talking about sort of just like his culture, with him, I guess, being Arab and having a Muslim background. And he said that things happened to him behind the scenes, like he was basically molested. It is what it is, while he was in a mosque. So let's see, is he truly suicidal? What can I see? Or was he just kind of like trying to manipulate people? Obviously, that's a part of the manipulation, because it's kind of just like, even if he is or isn't truly suicidal, it's kind of just like saying that during a tough time. You know, it's showing that obviously he's trying to like manipulate people. But let's just see, because I'm curious, is he truly suicidal, or is that some fuck shit? This guy, he's a true manipulator. He's a true backstabber. Don't get it fucked up. It's kind of just like, he's not going to harm himself. He is not going to harm himself. I could say that shit for a fact. He would literally like fuck up somebody to survive. You know what I mean? Like this guy, he's not trying to harm himself. This guy's ruthless. You see how this dude is carrying some guy's hand? So, I mean, or some creature's hand. So what's being shown to me is kind of just like, no, this guy is not going to harm himself. He'd rather harm other people. But it's deep. This is giving me multiple messages, because it's like he might not harm himself, but someone might harm him. Very deep. Let's see, what else can I see about this situation? Because these cards are giving me multiple messages, and I like it like that. Oh my goodness, this is really deep. For a fact, he's not going to harm himself again. Just because look at this armor. This guy, he's all about protecting himself. This is all about self-preservation. Look at the imagery, guys. This is self-preservation. But at the same time, though, there's someone that has some authority, someone that has some power. You know what I mean? It's kind of showing me deep shit. It's kind of just like there's someone with authority and power that can kind of like control his well-being. This is really deep. I mean, because I don't even know how to say it, because I don't want to sound stupid, because I don't necessarily know how to prove this. But the vibe that I'm getting and the word that came up is Mafia. And I know that sounds stupid, but it is what it is. Like, there's some Mafia shit going on here. There's definitely some Mafia shit. Not just that, this air of change with this full card representing like the air of change. He offended someone. He offended someone with authority. He offended someone with power. And it has to do with his ruthlessness. It has to do with his ambition. Because again, what was I telling you? He would harm someone to like come up in the world. So what I'm seeing is that, yeah, he's ruthless. But at the same time, this is energy of offense. He offended someone with power. This is deep. And let me just explain. Mafia don't have to be like Italian mafia. You know what I mean? There's such things that's kind of like the homosexual mafia, the YouTube mafia, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that. It's just basically organized, sort of just like people that have authority and power and shit. I'm definitely seeing some bad blood here. He caused some shit. This is deep. What else can I see about this energy? Because it's showing me he offended someone. So what can I see about this Mafia energy that's popping up? This is really interesting to me. All right. Ah, damn. He was doing too much. He was definitely doing too much. Not just that. Someone didn't like his come up. Because this has to do with sort of just like the internet. You know, every time this card popped up, I think I mentioned it. Kind of like, what reading was it? My Michael B. Jordan reading. This represents sort of just like social media, but when it's stressed because of social media. What I'm seeing is that, I mean, this is deep. Because it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. Because it's like, it's kind of just like an awkward situation. Because I'm not trying to say like claims. I'm trying to like watch what I say. And let me just say that this is all allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. I have to say that because of YouTube. But let me just say that someone from his culture with authority and power definitely was watching him. Definitely knew about the shit that he was involved in. And definitely pulled some strings. Now it's kind of just like, dude, you know, take yourself out sort of energy. Someone wants to bring harm to him and conflict with this 5. 5 speaks of conflict, fights. You know, not just that. You see this little knife here? It represents sort of kind of like, you know, basically like, I don't know, I'd be weird with the things I say, like, lately, because it's kind of just like, I don't want no sort of just like bullshit, but it is what it is. I'm just going to say it. This particular knife represents kind of like suicide. You know what I mean? It kind of represents killing yourself. It is what it is. It represents kind of like when you're in your head about shit. It also represents self-harming. So this was about like, was he basically suicidal? And it was showing me no. But basically this person with authority and power wants to put him in a situation where he takes himself out. Someone has some serious hate towards him, and that's what they want. They actually want him to be suicidal because they hate him. So, I mean, it is what it is. Very deep energies that I'm receiving. So, let's see what else I'm going to be asking. Was it just a kink? You know what I mean? Was it just a kink for money, or was it deeper shit going on with this? So let's see. Was it just a kink for money, to make money, or was it deeper shit? Also, my apology for the noise outside. I believe there's people swimming. So let's see. Oh yeah, there was definitely some deeper shit going on. Most definitely a ton of deeper shit. You know what I mean? This is more than money. This, like, to be honest, I know this guy talks about money, right? He was kind of just like, yo, he did this because of money and that he was getting paid for what he did. No, I'm not seeing that shit. I'm not seeing that shit at all. I'm seeing some serious rituals. And it's like, I don't even know how to explain this energy because it's so complicated. It's kind of like, it's not kind of like your typical reading. This is showing me a lot of deep shit. You know what I mean? This guy, he was affiliated or is affiliated with some mystical people. You know what I mean? People in craft. Not just that. This whole, like, kink, or whatever you want to call it, fetish, it wasn't just like a kink and a fetish. This was kind of like an energy harvesting sort of like situation. Not just that, it's a sort of like satanic vibe that I'm picking up that has to do with kind of like worship, but kind of like worship that has to do with abominations is what I'm seeing. So it's kind of just like, this has some major spiritual implications to it. This was not about money. This was not about kind of just like a kink. This was energy harvesting. Not just that, the people that he was doing all this sick shit to, he was like exchanging spirits with, you know, offering spirits up to them, kind of like marking them. This is giving me a lot of shit. I'm getting kind of just like, and you guys know I don't like be extra. Like, even when I did the Doja Cat reading and shit, Like I asked, like, oh, was it a ritual? And I didn't see any of that shit. This shit is giving me a lot of crazy ass shit that I don't even know what to say. It's telling me a witch coven. It's showing me a witch coven with this particular card. You know what I mean? Not just that. This is showing me a whole spiritual situation of marking people, of draining people's energy. Not just that. I mean, this is actually kind of like terrifying energies, but it showed me kind of just like the people that was watching this shit, getting off to all this sick shit. It was bringing death in their life. Like spiritual death, bringing weird shit in their life, demons, principalities of like darkness, crazy shit like that. So this was a whole spiritual operation, guys. This isn't something kind of just casual. This isn't kind of just like a personality, a YouTube celebrity personality that was just involved in weird shit that got caught. And no, this is showing me some satanic, crazy ass, weird shit. I mean, I don't know if I need to ask any other questions. I mean, let me see. Because I want to ask, like, does he believe in the degrading shit he was saying about, like, black people and Asians and gay people? He was just saying a whole lot of degrading shit. And I know that he said that the commentary wasn't, like, his thing. Like, he just said, like, some of the shit on the videos. But as far as kind of just, like, the shit people typed out, it had nothing to do with him. But let's see. Does he believe in that whole sort of just, like, degrading shit that he was saying about black people and all sorts of people? Oh, yeah. He definitely believed that shit. There's no point to pull any other cards. This morality card, it represents a lack of morality. So, I mean, it's funny because a lot of people are offended because they're like, oh, this guy was like basically like trying to play on black females' emotions and shit. What I'm seeing is that this guy is a major fraud with this morality card. A lack of morality. A person that's sick. If you look at this guy's face, it's someone that's sick. You know what I mean? Someone that wants to present kind of like a positive vibe. You see how their hands are kind of like together, kind of like they're innocent and shit. But really, like when you look in this person's insides and open up the gates, there's some sickness and some disturbed shit going on. And to be honest, if you're intuitive, you can see this shit without it even being exposed. And I'm not just saying this just to say it, but I came across him even before all of this shit happened. Like, I seen one of his videos. I forget what it was about. And I just didn't like his vibe, to be honest. His vibe was disgusting me, and it put me off. And I'm not saying that people can't have kinks or whatever, but it showed, like, the vibe that I was picking up was that this guy is, like, just sick and just gross. Like, I just picked up a gross vibe from him. So what I'm seeing is that, yeah, I mean, this guy, he's involved in some weird shit. Not just that. He did believe in all that degrading shit. So it is what it is. This guy, he has no morals. Not just that. This guy is ruthless. And so it is what it is. There's also some deeper shit going on as far as like politics and shit behind the scenes. But I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Definitely tell me what you thought. And if you made it this far, definitely press the thumbs up button.